Okay, so welcome to our meditation class for Monday, February the 6th. Today we are going to start with a teaching talk on fascia and feelings, emotions, and meditation. And I want to, throughout this talk, to be continually thinking about how it relates to you. So this talk is going to be quite personal. I'm going to speak about how it relates to me. I think that makes it more real in a lot of ways. But I share my own experience with you so that you can relate it to your own experience. That's the intention behind sharing my experience with this. So as I'm sharing my own experience, the intention is not for you to be like, oh my God, poor Melissa. The intention is for you to think about how this relates to you in your life when strong emotions come up, and also how the application of fascial practices and the meditation relates to you as well. Okay, and just how the story parallels your own experiences. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So in my experience, when you meditate, I think a lot of times, and myself included, we come to meditation to free ourselves from uncomfortable experiences, from uncomfortable emotions and uncomfortable feelings. But in reality, our meditation practice can only really help us to be able to be with those uncomfortable emotions and feelings when they arise. Because in this life, as human beings, they do arise. And in my experience as a human being, and actually in watching my elders too, and in watching people who do meditation, the more we experience life openly, and the more we do our meditation practice, the more clearly we see, and the more intensely we feel a more dynamic range of emotions. So I think back to, I'll use two examples in my life. I think of my own grandfather, and as he's aging, he displays a wider dynamic range of emotions than he did when he was younger. Also, my father-in-law too. He's a submarine commander. His dynamic range when Tim was young was like this, and it's slowly even broadening. And my grandmother too, she was a very resentful woman in our younger years, but in her older, in the last years of her life, it was so beautiful because her dynamic range really opened, and she experienced a real joy and love in her life for her grandchildren and for her children. That was really quite beautiful. So I see this in human beings generally speaking, but I also see this with people who meditate, that the dynamic range opens, and it doesn't mean that you free yourself from your emotions, but in the contrary, you feel them in a deeper way. So if you are looking to bliss out and zone out, then I would recommend smoking pot, probably, or watching football. This probably isn't the path for you, because this is like full on. This is really full on. So today I'm going to speak to you about my own experience. I'm actually not advocating pot smoking. That was tongue in cheek.
Melissa said.
I just thought I should clarify that. Oh God.
You did go to the herbalist a lot, don't you,
Start
Melissa?
smoking again.
That was okay. Just let's be really clear on that. Okay. So as I said, today I want to speak to you about my own experience with intense emotions, because I think it does make it more real and relatable. And it's my desire to share this experience so that when intense emotions arise for you, you know that it's completely normal and that it is actually really good news. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you need to stop meditating. And in fact, it's probably a really good sign that you're on the precipice of something quite transformational, and that it's an indication that you should turn towards it and be really curious. So the whole intention behind this talk is to make a connection between fascia, emotions, and meditation, and releasing tension in our bodies as well. So this is a fairly recent experience, but it was really strong. So on Saturday, I told you it was recent, all day long I could feel emotional tension building in my body. So I am feeling this emotional tension building in my body that I want to turn away from at all costs. Like, I do not want to be having these emotions at all. And it's that intense feeling of being completely unlovable, that intense feeling that I've done something wrong, that I'm separate, that I don't deserve to be here on this planet Earth. And it's that feeling that I know that my birthday is coming the next day. And it doesn't matter that there's going to be over 200 messages on Facebook. It doesn't, because I know that I won't hear from my mother or father on that day. And if I do hear from my mother, that it will be a Facebook message just telling me where she is in the world and where she's traveling. And so that's her excuse for whatever, from my perspective, that she can't contact me. So all day long, all I can think about is, like, what have I done in my life that can make me so wrong that I have a mother that doesn't care enough about me to call me on my birthday? And I replay these reasons, things that she's told me throughout my life that I'm not wanted. And I also, it's not just that side of it, I also replay the only time in my life that she told me that she was proud of me. And I just replay the complete shock that I had when I heard her say that to me. So as you can imagine, with this huge emotional intensity, by about 1 a.m, I'm lying in bed with complete insomnia. My heart, so physically my heart is like actually hurting. It feels tight and constricted, and I feel completely cut off and completely unlovable. So we know what this is from the perspective of this meditation lineage. This is tension in my body. This kind of tension refers to both sensation that you experience in your physical body, but it's also the tension that happens when you turn away from an emotional experience, and then your body creates that kind of resistance too. And so these kind of, the two tensions are one and the same, right? There's the emotional resistance, and then the body walls off against it. And so that was what was happening. And the tension can come up as numbness. It can come up as solidity, tightness, pain. So I was really feeling it as pain, right in the heart center. Strong emotional states, I was totally feeling that. Any kind of tension that we feel when we withdraw from an emotional experience. And all these forms of somatic discomfort imply some kind of holding, stuckness, locking, lack of movement, walling off, turning away. This is what I was experiencing. It was like, this can't be happening. I can't be feeling this unlovable. Like, there's that going on too. My heart can't be hurting this much. I can't be this closed down. So there's all that, those second and third and fourth layers, right? Turning away, turning away, turning away. So from the perspective of fascia, your body's history includes all these past injuries, postural habits, work habits, stress, mental, emotional, energetic, accidents, surgeries, other traumas. And so emotional trauma, emotional holding, emotional wounding, our deepest core wounds. Fascia responds to all these conditions by undergoing change. So when your body experiences stress, strain, trauma, unnatural forces, your connective tissue, it detects the strain and it helps to support your body through this strain. So to do so, it begins to change chemically, and bonds form between the collagen fibers that are abundant in your tissue, and it thickens and it creates these perfect environments for adhesions to form. So there's no doubt that in the past, my body would have undergone these adhesions, and that night there was chemical changes happening in my body, and those kind of adhesions forming as I experienced so much emotional trauma, tension, and resistance in my body. So the question is, what did I do? So quite honestly, there was a lot of mental thinking about who I could offload this pain onto, because I was in tremendous amount of pain. So I'm thinking about, okay, I need to get up and let my meditation teacher know about this. I need to hire a therapist. I need to hire a therapist that my mother and I can go to together. I need to communicate to my mother how much pain she causes me. So there was a lot of kind of mental rumination about how I could offload the pain that I was in. So that was absolutely happening. But more than that, I kept coming back to the practice, right? So what's the practice? There's pain in the big toe. You come into the big toe and you go into the pain, right? So there's pain in my heart. So I kept turning towards the pain, kept turning towards the pain. I kept feeling the sensations in my heart, the tightness, the closed down feeling, the feeling of being completely walled off, cut off, separate, turned away, pain in my heart. And it wasn't like when we do the big toe in the practice, like you feel the sensation in the big toe, you feel the tension, it heightens and the tension dissolves. It was like, this went on for hours. Like if the insomnia started at 1 a.m, this was like 3 a.m. before 4 a.m. before something shifted. It was like turning towards the pain, turning towards the pain, turning towards the pain, turning towards the pain. So this took a lot of courage, I think, courage and strength. And then something did finally shift, right? It was being with the pain in a really tender and compassionate way, to be honest. And something shifted. There was finally insight, right? Something bigger than me showed up. And all of a sudden after 2 or 3 hours, the bottom dropped out. And I experienced earth descent in a really big way, like a big opening to all that is. And I realized that I had access to unconditional love that was greater than anything that any human could ever give me. And it was really beautiful. It wasn't one and done. There was, I know for those of you that practice earth descent with this practice, there's that kind of up and down. And so there's the clenching in the heart again, and then opening up and clenching. So it was like that kind of, we kind of call it earthquaking. It was more fluid than that. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it was enough of a relief from that experience that I was able to feel some peace and relaxation and sleep. And fall back to sleep, and able to wake up the next morning to be in a position to receive what the good in my life, to receive love from my husband and my daughter the next day. So the point of sharing all this with you is that we will experience emotional pain in our lives. The more we peel back the layers of the onion of tension, the more we will experience a wider dynamic emotional range, and the more we will be open to not just the pain in our lives. We will see it more clearly, but we will see the true love that exists in our lives too on a deeper level. And it is natural to resist the pain when it comes up. That's just a very natural human tendency. when we do resist, there is that layer of tension that we layer onto our bodies. And when we do these beautiful meditation practices and these connective tissue practices, we have that opportunity to open in a more honest, authentic, and really raw way than ever to these emotional wounds that we are carrying around in our body, and to release them and let them go and to allow them to be healed. Resisting really only adds another layer to the adhesions, to the fascia or tension, as we call it in the meditation practice. So it is when we turn towards them with incredible patience. Like, as I said, it went in the experience that I had just this past weekend. It was with patience and unbelievable tenderness, but patience mostly, that you are able to experience this kind of healing and transformation. So that's what I wanted to speak to you about today with the fascia and the healing and what's possible, and feelings and emotions and how that kind of layers into our body. And so I open up the space for you to either respond to that, ask questions, or simply to introduce yourself and say where you're connecting from and the time that it is for you today and what you want to receive from your practice.
I would like to respond to that, because respond is the right word, because I recognize that in the fact that it's recognizing that it's there and responding to it, rather than getting up the next morning, finding a punch bag. Because, funnily enough, there was a piece in the paper this week that it's not a good idea to have a punch bag in the house where you go and let out all your aggression, because it doesn't help. It just supports that response.
Interesting.
So it's taking the response where I'm present with it, rather than I'm releasing it too fast. In that respect, it's a massive resistance, isn't it, to let it all go at once. Say, okay, I'm going to actually toss that out in the garbage, and it's not necessary for me to think about it anymore. So I totally get that. It's the courage to continually respond. I think that's what is scary about this, and that's why I know I have to take it slowly, because I've only got so much energy for so much courage. Because it's exhausting taking this on board and going through it. It's peeling back those layers that it does freak me out sometimes. But it's learning to respond and say, I'll take so much and then I'll let it go and sit for a while and be still with it. And then maybe I can have another go. So yeah, I'm not doing deep, long practices until we come here on a Monday now. I've come to that point where I can't do it every day. So I'm doing the 20-minute every day, and I'll start doing gentle 5-minute fascia. And leave it at that. So yeah, I really admire your courage, Melissa.
It's just really good that you're listening to your own body and that wisdom, you know.
Anyway, I'm in the UK. It's coming up for 6 o'clock. Yeah, and I'm open to what happens today and got the support that I need.
I think too that when you think about it, all trauma is not something to release in one time. Why should it? You accumulated it in a long period. So I think it's more natural and maybe better for you to let it go slowly, because I don't believe that you can physically or emotionally let it go like that. So, but that's the nice thing about it. Also, the difficult thing, because we want to solve or fix.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's gone.
I'm fixed.
Next
Yeah.
problem. It's not like that. It's
No.
just experience it too. It takes time also for yourself to trust, and what you say too, Melissa, that the courage to do it, that takes time, because but also to experience it and stay in the experience, I think that's so powerful, to drop the story and to feel. I'm also a person who I can get very emotional or feel everything, but I'm also used to get going, to do other things or get working or whatever, to not feel it. And to when you go to sit or to lie down here, I think for me it's a very natural way to come into the feeling of also the emotion, old emotions too, to really feel it. I don't get to very old trauma, but there are things you touch. I don't think you always need to know the story behind it, you know. And that's also what I experience now with the fascia. The body remembers everything and keeps it at a place where it's everybody has their weak points, and I think that's the place where the attention goes. But it's what I want to say is that I lose my story now, but let me see, what was I going to say? I like what I experience now is that by doing it slowly, it's not enjoying more the trauma, but it's like you really truly feel it. Like, okay, this is anger, or this is my old Tim. This is the fear and then you also can really feel if it's true or not. So dropping the story gets you to the raw feeling, and I think it's very beautiful.
I think you're talking about the witness, right?
Yeah,
the compassionate witness.
Yeah,
and which is very beautiful.
And that's also what's happening when you can receive it. Then there's this feeling, and I think Michelle knows that too. I have that more in sitting than in lying down, that you come to this point that you only receive something. I don't know what it is. You just called it this unconditional love from the universe or from the earth, and that is something that happens sometimes, just little things. And I think that's what's happening in this meditation. It's a big bonus, and it's small, but it continues when you open up. Just some thoughts on it, but it's I like the slowness because I think it's necessary. Yeah.
I just want to clarify. I maybe didn't say it, but when I shared this, it's not one and done. I mean, you'll probably have to hear me talk about my core wounds with my mom and dad again. Yeah.
No, that is the deepest wound. I recognize a lot. I have this also similar thing, like it's never enough, or it's never good, never feeling good enough, because I missed that in my youth. And I think that this is a wound which will never heal, but it will grow softer, like a scar who changes in the years. And that is what my experience also in the meditation is, that it is being more accessible. You can feel it. Nothing happens. this is part of you. So maybe you have to treasure it to help it.
Yeah. Michelle's been writing some here, so I'll share what Michelle's been writing. Michelle's from the UK, 6 p.m. there. She's looking forward to being open and receptive to what happens. She agrees with Linda about dropping the story and feeling. And whoops, I was trying to access more of it. Now I've made the window go away. There it goes. Here, it's back. Dropping the story and feeling allows whatever is greater to arrive in the present moment. That's really insightful, actually, because when you drop the story and you're really present to the sensations, then that's probably when just being so present to the sensations that were happening in my body and dropping the whole story about what it was about, it was probably when the turning point was able to happen for me. Over time. So Nancy says, I admire your bravery turning into the pain and emotion and the patience to continue turning inward and seeking an answer, a release to peace. It must have been a few grueling hours, but doing deep and facing it head on may have saved yourself from worse, a panic attack or even a heart attack. Yeah, it felt very like there wasn't another choice. You know, like, I feel like I don't talk about this because I feel like when you talk about it, it makes it like less authentic, but I think you guys know that I live what I teach. Yeah. And if you say that, it makes it like you don't, but so that's kind of what it's about. It's not like I'm just teaching it and I'm not living it. So, and that's not why I did it. It's like, oh, here's a perfect opportunity. Let me show that I live what I teach. No, it's like, because I believe in it 100%, because I know that I wouldn't be teaching it if I didn't believe that it was going to help everybody so much, because it's helping me so much. Like, I just believe 100%.
And
go ahead, Hannah, help me out.
And Linda, yeah. Well, Linda doesn't go home and eat McDonald's when she's been putting all those nice recipes on, does she?
Right, yeah. I love surrounding myself with people who are
2 times in my life.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta have a milkshake, right? But it's gotta be from Bourgain Cafe here, where they make their own ice cream, and it's so good. But yeah, I love surrounding myself with authentic people who are walking the path, right? It's just amazing. So Michelle says, thank you for sharing your experience, Melissa. It's so helpful, and I understand how much courage this must have taken. I have in the past experienced similar things with trials with my mom. Nothing is hard, but experiencing those dark nights and waking and never having resolved anything as I stuck to my stories. It's in the middle of the night, isn't it? Those stories, they have a life of their own in the middle of the night, don't they? Mm-hmm. They're bigger.
Yeah, it's dark and you're alone with your story.
Yeah.
It's very big.
It's like you become a child again with the nightmares, right? Only the nightmares are like real. So she just says,
I like the fact that I have a hug machine next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so helpful, so grounding, right? Those hug machines. Yeah.
Yes.
I admire your honesty and openness so much. It helps us all. You know, last week, it's coming like this is a little off topic, but almost not. It's a little, I just need to share this. We'll go back on topic after this. But it's coming to the full moon, and it's like, speaking of dreams, Tim and I both had the same dreams last week.
Oh.
New. Weird, right? Yeah, very symbolic and very, same night and very restless nights. Very weird, right?
Nice.
Extraordinary.
So, first of all, I really thank you, Melissa, for the work that you do and for walking the path and helping us do it. You said a couple of things that I think are kind of were resonating with me. The first one, and Linda, you as well, dropping the story. There was maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, every time I came to my mat, there were tears. And for a while I kept trying to figure it out, right? What is this about? And then I quit. I let it go. And I didn't even come to the mat with the expectation. Well, I don't know if y'all do it, but sometimes something happened the last time I was here. So I'm looking for it this time, either for positive or for, unpleasant or whatever. I kind of let it all go and it ran its course, whatever that means. But at the same time, and it was almost when that stuff was wrapping up, you said there was really no other choice. Mm-hmm. This is completely not the same thing. In a way, it's kind of the opposite. But after that, since that time, I have done somatic meditation every morning. It's not an effort. It's not a commitment to myself. It's not I'm going to do this for X. You know what I mean? X number of days.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I just wake up and I wash my face every day. I brush my teeth every day. I do somatic meditation every day. Then I'm not even holding myself to that. It's just what is necessary right now. Mm-hmm. And and thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for your practice.
Yeah, thank you for your practice.
Yeah, because it does make a difference to be practicing like this in the world. Yeah, it really does. Mm. Okay, so shall we practice?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's lie down. So you're lying on your back as you always do, with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. As always, these are guidelines. And you're going to listen to your own body so that you can be as relaxed and as comfortable as possible. So that may mean putting a bolster underneath your knees and adjusting the position of your feet so that your low back and your psoas have no strain in them. And you can relax as completely as possible without any effort. Then you're going to place your hands on your belly and let your elbows be heavy on the ground. And you'll close your eyes to encourage that inward focus and to be able to feel into your own body more deeply. And then you're going to feel into your 2 feet, the 2 sides of your buttocks, your mid-back, your 2 shoulder blades, your 2 elbows, and the back of your head. Feel them on the ground. Feel the earth underneath you and underneath these points. And feel the solidity of the earth. Feel the support of the earth and allow your body to settle. Allow yourself to relax into the earth. And feel the earth supporting you underneath you, allowing yourself to be relaxed, open, and receptive. So this position allows your body to completely let go, to release whatever physical, mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual tension your body is carrying, and to surrender it back into the earth. And feeling the support of the earth underneath you is key to this meditation. The more grounded you feel, the more naturally and effortlessly relaxed and open your body will be. And by extension, the more open and accepting of your experience you will be able to be throughout this meditation. So we begin, as we always do, with your feet and breathing into your big toes. Feel your big toes on both feet. Breathe into all the pores of your big toes. Feeling the big toe on both feet. And see what you notice, what sensations are there. And it doesn't matter how much or how little is there for you, you're just going to feel more and more into what sensations are present. Feeling into the mass of your big toe, the bottom, the sides, the top, the hardness of your toenail. Feeling into the main body of your big toe. Feeling into the toe bone. Noticing if you feel any discomfort, perhaps any achiness, any tightness. And remember, with all our practices, we have infinite time and no ambition. When you tune into your body in this way, you'll uncover all kinds of subtle and not so subtle tension and sensations. You'll start to notice anxiety gripping, and you'll feel where you're holding. You'll feel the tension. And as that tension comes forward, you'll notice that alchemical, magical process as the toes begin to release that tension and it begins to drain downwards to the earth, just the way a snowflake falls down to the ground. And as you release, you relax, and the tension and energy goes into the earth. You might start to feel your breath slowing down. And then you come into your second toe. And now you begin to uncover and tap into the tension in your second toe. Let the energy of the tension from your second toe, the underside, the middle, the tops, all the little ridges in the second toe come forward. Breathing through the pores of your second toe, feeling the tension. Letting your awareness in your middle toe connect to whatever sensations you find. And then that second toe, letting that tension unravel, drop down into the earth. And then coming to your middle toe, notice how the tension in each toe is slightly different. Each toe has its own personality, and you can appreciate the unique experience of each toe, the unique sensations, the unique tension, the unique holding on. Going into your third toe, feeling the tension, allowing it to come forward, and then allowing that tension to release, dissolve, and let go. And then coming to your fourth toe, breathing your awareness into your fourth toe, giving yourself plenty of time to discover the unique personality of each toe, allowing yourself a full experience of the sensation in your fourth toe, and then feeling your fourth toe dissolve and release. And finally coming into your baby toe, maybe a little more difficult to sense, feeling it a little more withdrawn and pulled back, feeling its connection to your rest of your foot. Breathing into all the pores of your baby toe. And then allowing that to release, dissolve, and let go down into the earth. So coming into the tension in your feet and in your toes, you're starting to open up to that range of sensation, not only in your physical body, but in a really gentle and natural way. You're softening the barrier against feelings and experiences that you may have been avoiding, denying, or repressing. And so it is that you may find various feelings, emotions, sensations, energy, memories coming up. And if so, you can just welcome them, let them come forward. You can trust the wisdom of your body. And remember that you are your own best teacher. If anything feels too much, you can always back off. But you can go gently and follow the guidance of your body. You can trust the wisdom of your body to let you know how much is enough and how much is too much. So now all 5 toes are relaxing, releasing, elongating, and letting go. And then we're coming into the ball of your foot. You can feel behind your big toe, your second toe, your middle toe, your 4th toe, and your baby toe. Feeling where all your toes connect to your feet. Feeling the holding and the tightness at that connection. Releasing each toe. Releasing the connection between each toe and your foot. Feeling further back into the ball of your foot. Feeling the density and the tension. The more you relax your feet, the more you will feel other areas of your body suddenly presenting as tense. And there may be an invitation to release those parts again. And you can follow that wisdom of your body as well. You can let go and return to your feet. And then we'll come to the arch of your foot. So here's another place where there's a lot of holding. Feeling the brittleness and rigidity of the arch of your foot. You're going to breathe right into the arch of your foot. So as you know, the bottom of your foot maps out your entire body. And the arch of your foot in particular represents all the domes of your body. Your palate and your mouth, your underarms, every part where there's a dome in your body. So when you release the arch in your foot, it may feel like a river of tension flowing down through your feet and into the earth. You may feel other parts in your body, other domes in your body, pelvic floor, releasing. And then coming right into the density of your interior of your foot, right in the middle of your foot, feeling all the little crossroads of fascia, the heavy masses of tension, feeling into those. And then allowing them to release, just letting your whole foot release and melt, feeling it dissolving and melting into the earth. And then coming into your heel, feeling the pain in your heel. Letting the tension of your heels dissolve down into the earth. So taking plenty of time with this, you're developing a neurological capacity by focusing on one area. So this neurological capacity, it's not only mental, you're broadening your emotional intelligence as well. And this carries over with you not only into your subsequent meditation sessions, but it also becomes a baseline of emotional intelligence for you in all areas of your life. Coming to your ankle bones on the inside, ankle bones on the outside, feeling the tension in your bones. So bones carry tension just as much as muscles, fascia. There's tension throughout our entire body, through our bloodstream, through our cells. So we're allowing ourselves to access tension in our body right down to the cellular level, letting the tension from our ankle bones release, and then coming into our shin bones. Feeling the tension in your shin bones and feeling the release. And then letting that interoception, that interior awareness of your body travel backwards through your lower leg into your calf muscle from the inside, and allow it to spread through the density of your calf muscle, up and down along your calf muscle, feeling the tension, breathing into the back of your lower leg now through your calf muscle, feeling the tension, feeling the density. Remember, there is no rush. There's infinite time for this. There's infinite time, no ambition. So now your whole lower leg is relaxing, releasing, and letting go. Tension is melting down into the earth, and the earth is drawing tension down into herself. So the kind of neurotic tension that we are carrying is actually the energy of the basic life force that originates up from the earth in the first place. And it gets trapped in our ego machinery of denial and repression instead of flowing through us. So this beautiful energy that originates in the earth flows up through our life process in the form of experience. And now it's completing itself. It's completing the cycle and returning to the earth source, back down to the earth. So we're completing this beautiful cycle of energy exchange so that our ego is no longer getting in the way in its neurotic form and its neurotic storytelling, the way that it appropriates that beautiful life force energy exchange to try to maintain itself, in the way that it derails the energy, the way that it dams up that energy. So this release back into the earth is just this beautiful energy exchange, a beautiful cycle of deep ecology, allowing the energy in the form of our experience to complete its own life cycle. So instead of trying to own the life force that comes from the earth for our own ego purposes, we're doing the most beautiful ecological thing we can do by completing this energy exchange with the earth. So this is a very beautiful, healthy, ecologically conscious thing that we can do in the world. Now bring your awareness to your buttocks on either side, connecting with the earth. Feel them touching the earth. Feel the sensations in as much detail as possible. For those of you that have done the fascial release of your buttocks in the pre-somatic meditation rollout, return to the sensation of what it feels like after you've rolled out your buttocks and the way they just melt into the ground there, and see if you can experience that sensation of your buttocks melting into the ground there. And then come into your perineum, feeling the sensations at your perineum, feeling the tension. That space right in front of your anal area before your genitals. Generally, a lot of tension there for men and women. So we're going to go gently. We're going to slowly allow that tension to come forward. And then feeling for tension throughout the entire pelvic floor. So through the anal area, through the genitals. And then allowing it to relax and release and let go. Going slowly and carefully. Coming up to the tension and holding in your lower belly. Knowing that you don't need to hold on here anymore. You can relax and release and let go. Coming into your inner thighs. Feeling the tension all the way from your inner thighs at your pelvic floor, all the way up to your knees. So very long band of tension that runs from your knee joint all the way to your pelvic floor. Feeling that band of tension. And then I'm feeling that tension release, dissolve, and let go. And then notice how your buttocks can relax more deeply into the ground here. And feeling your pelvic bowl as a whole. Letting it dissolve and release and let go into the ground. Coming to your upper legs, the very dense layer of muscle along your upper legs, your quadriceps, feeling the density, feeling the tightness through those muscles. And then feeling that tension just dissolve down through the earth and into the ground. And then following that dissolution of tension, going right into your upper legs, going right into your legs. So following through the fronts of your legs, right to the backs of your legs, to your hamstrings at the back. Feeling the tension from behind your knees all the way down to your sit bones at the back. Feeling the density of your hamstring muscles. And being patient with yourself. There's infinite time and no ambition, and it doesn't have to all dissolve and release and let go in this practice, because there will be another practice. Sometimes it will let go a little, and sometimes it will let go a lot. Maybe it will let go somewhere in between. And whatever happens today is just the right amount for your body, and you can trust that. So coming back to your pelvis, letting go on the sides of your pelvis, feeling the tension that you carry on the sides of your pelvis, allowing that area to melt and release and let go. So now your whole lower body is relaxing, releasing, dissolving, letting go. Feel the connection with the earth. Notice how that feels through your body, to have your lower body relaxed and releasing. Notice how that feels physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically. And then we'll come to your mid-back at the base of your sternum and at the bottom of your rib cage. Feeling the tension at the base of your ribs, at the base of your sternum, the base of your breastbone. Allowing the tension to come forward and then let it dissolve down through the earth and into the ground. And then coming to your shoulder blades on your upper back. Feeling their connection to the earth. Allow your shoulder blades to settle more deeply into the earth. Feel the tension through your shoulder blades. Allow your awareness to come into the interior of your upper body, especially in the front of your shoulder blades, just inside of your body, then below them into the sides. Feel the tension and allow the tension to release through your shoulder blades and into the earth. And then feel your elbows heavy on the ground. And let the tension drain from your fingers, all the joints of your fingers, the backs of your hands, the fronts of your hands, the palms of your hands, your thumbs, the base of your thumbs, your wrists, your forearms, down through your elbows and into the earth. And then come back to your shoulders. Feel any remaining of your tension in your shoulders. Allow the tension in your shoulders to come forward. And then let it slide down through your upper arms. Any tension in your triceps, down through your upper arms into the earth. So now your whole body is relaxing, releasing, and letting go. And now we're coming to your head. Feeling your forehead, your cheeks, your nose. Letting the tension from these places come forward. Your teeth, your jaws, your tongue. Feeling the tension, letting it dissolve through the back of your head and into the earth. The sides of your face, your ears, tension in your scalp. With each part, feel the tension, breathe into each place. Everything melts. And then your face as a whole. So your face carries a lot of tension, a lot of emotional burden, a lot of emotional expression. Feel the tension in your eye socket. Allow your eyes to sink back and release the tension into the earth. Feel your eyelids touching. Let there be less tension where your eyelids touch. Feel your upper lip and your lower lip. Let your face melt. Your eyebrows. Let your face be like putty, dissolving, softening, losing its shape completely. Feeling tension in your brain. Let your head be a feeling space. There's no need to think. Just let yourself feel sensations, feel the tension, and let it dissolve down through the back of your head and into the earth. And then feel your body as a whole again. Breathe into all the pores of your skin, of your entire body all at once. And any places that are calling you to relax will come forward. And then you'll let them go, release. Sense the stillness in your body. It's a really beautiful thing to attend to your body with this much energy and devotion. And it's okay to allow your body to relax, even to the point of going to sleep. When you're letting go this much, generally you're maintaining some level of attention during the process. Your body will continue to offer up areas of tension to let go. So you're lying there feeling whatever you're feeling, exploring what's coming up. Allowing your body to be in a state of somatic relaxation. And then when you're ready, you can make your way back up to a seated position. Okay, so this is the space for you to be able to speak about your experience, either your experience today or your meditation practice in general. And as always, listening is just as valuable a way to participate in our circle.
Well, I think that this teaching and this practice really touched a place in my heart. I was actually imagining the back of my heart and what it might look like. So that was different. Somatic meditation is quite beautiful, and I do it quite a bit. And it's definitely mind-changing and life-changing. And yeah.
Thank you, Madeline.
Yeah.
I think I need to speak about what happened with me just now. Obviously, with the epilepsy, my body has kind of.
So Hannah,
times.
you're
I'll switch the video off.
yeah, okay, thanks. I didn't get any of that.
Okay.
Okay. Try again.
Okay. So I wasn't expecting what happened. I've never experienced. I don't think I remember experiencing this before. And it's the epilepsy. My body has rituals that it goes through when it has a seizure, and it's how it knows to release tension. When we started, I had these big long breaths through my lungs, and we got to the arches of my feet, and obviously my eyes are closed, and they start twitching about like it's REM sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, be with it. Just it's having fun. And it just kept going and going and going for a few minutes. And in the end, I thought, okay, well, open your eyes, because this is kind of annoying. But I couldn't open my eyes, and that was when I kind of clicked. Oh my goodness, this is like a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing else was going on like a seizure. So it was just a kind of a revelation that my body wants to release tension like this. So it's going to. And it eventually stopped. And I just had floods of tears. I think we got to the top of the legs, and I was completely out of it. So yes, Nick's made me a cup of tea, and I was sitting in the chair for the rest of the meditation, crying. But it's obviously releasing something. But that I was just not expecting that, and it was just it just felt so weird, because people have described it to me, but I've never witnessed it myself.
And how do you feel now?
Okay, actually quite light, quite free.
Good. And did you feel safe?
Yes.
Okay.
I knew the ground was there.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt really connected.
So it did feel different than a seizure?
Oh, it certainly was not a seizure.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was just one of the rituals that my body goes through when I have a seizure.
So then there was that kind of like scariness, the fear around it.
It wasn't scary. It was
Okay.
It was almost like I said, I witnessed it, because I've only had it described to me before.
Oh, so people tell you this is what happens to you.
Yeah.
Okay. But you actually experienced it for yourself in a conscious way.
Yeah. And it was kind of a revelation, saying, oh, this is how my body releases tension. That's fascinating. It's not nice.
Well, no. I mean, so I guess the rest of us can only experience it from the perspective of like when we have the restless leg thing, and it's not nice at all.
Yeah. But my eyes are kind of aching now, so, but yeah. Ego gets involved and says, that's amazing that you were so relaxed that was able to happen.
Well, I would agree. In that you're, I think it's quite, I think it is quite incredible that you are able to witness the release of tension in your body in this way, that it was safe, that you were in a safe way.
Yeah, I felt like I was surrounded and safe. Very safe. Yeah.
So I don't know what your experience is, and I can only draw analogies between my own life experience. So to me, it feels like I would know the difference between a migraine trigger and and when I was going, if it was going to flip into a migraine and I need to come out and take care of it in a different way, or this is tension that I can stay with and release here in this meditation. So it sounds like to me you can discern the difference too.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
There was no way was there a seizure coming at all.
Yeah.
It was just that my body knows ways of getting rid of tension, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for talking about, I think that's a really good example of discernment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stepping outside and observing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like right here, there's like vibrations as I'm breathing. It's like a shakiness, and I think my body is releasing tension still after the meditation, and it's it's like moving down almost like my central channel, and it's like in my lower back now, and it's like this like shakiness, and I'm letting it go down into the earth. But yeah, that's what's happening right now.
So a lot of energy stirred up today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I experienced too a lot of energy. Only that, I think, from the toes till the head, it was only buzzing and zooming, and it is a really nice feeling to be so much in the body that I only feel the pulsing and my heartbeat and the blood and everything flows, and it's really incredible to be there with my body. And I did the pre-somatic rollout an hour before, and like yesterday it is as if most of the tension is already gone. So it's a different experience now.
It feels like cheating, doesn't it? I almost said that in the video, but I didn't want to say that. But it does really just like you lie down. It's like, okay, well, here we really are now. Let's just go for the ride.
Now what do we do?
Well, now you just like sink, and it's awesome, right?
It's a really different experience. It's really nice, yeah. And I told you yesterday that I had a problem with this thing, but today I did it on my naked skin because and that makes a lot of difference.
Oh, good.
There's something in between, you don't really feel what you do, so you
okay, great.
Skin on skin is, for me, it worked better.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So I feel really alive. It's really nice.
Nice.
And there's one more thing, is that for me, every time I do the meditation, it goes on for hours, or it's such an energetic release for me. Really energetically, I can be really wiped out from kind of exhaustion, and that's the letting go, I think, and it goes on. It's not stopping now. It will go on the rest of the evening too. And sometimes I wake up and I think, wow, what a lot of it goes on and on and on. So that's the nice part too, I think, repeating it, and it's you have a kind of system put on, and it's working now.
Before the practice today, I looked up pictures of the skeletal system to know what the shoulder blades look like. Curious, and that helped me release tension in my shoulders today.
It does help, I think, sometimes to take a look at that. the shoulder short series, I focused a lot on the anatomy of the shoulder girdle, and I know people found that really quite helpful.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. It allows you to interocept more, I think.
Yeah.
I did the fascial release, the second video, just before we went on air. And certainly when I lay down, and I could feel that my chest was more open.
Oh, those shoulder ones are lovely.
It felt like an armpit release rather than a shoulder release.
Yeah, they do amazing things for those ones. Are all focused straight in and around here. They do amazing things to release your shoulders and upper back. Yeah, Michelle's saying last week the focus on the eyes. I did a lot. I really went in and explored the anatomy of the eyes, and I think even you don't have to get so caught up in really figuring it all out. You can just allow it to kind of wash over you, and whatever parts kind of just let it kind of wash over, and I think you'll receive it on some level, and it will allow you to release that part of your body. Mm-hmm. I could stay with you all day and talk about this all day. I do have another meeting at 11 that I need to get to, though. So I'm sorry, Paige. If you need, can you comment online? Yeah, if anybody else wants to say anything else, can you comment online? I'd love to hear about this, but I do need to hop off to my next appointment. So thank you so much.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye.